Welcome to From the Trenches, success shortcuts revealed by real-world innovators crushing it right now. I'm your host, Scott Hartley, and we're back with another episode packed with actionable strategies from today's most successful entrepreneurs. If you're tired of generic business advice and ready for real, cutting-edge tactics that are working right now, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the most common mistakes made with paid ads. And if you're like me, this is a topic that you really need to listen to because I've given Mark Zuckerberg more money than I'd like to admit and gotten zero return on it. So anyway, I can't wait to share with you the transformational insights from our guest. So I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Teresa Panatella. Dr. Teresa is a doctoral level occupational therapist turned Facebook ads expert and AI enthusiast. After spending 24 years in the healthcare field, she decided to focus on the fun part, marketing. She started with video production, website building, mastering SEO, and then discovered Facebook ads. She loves solving a problem, and there's one every single day with Facebook ads, and I'm sure that all my listeners can attest to that. Dr. Teresa routinely cuts lead costs and generates an average of 2.92 return on ad spend, so ROAS. And her clients are high achievers in service-based and info businesses from around the globe. Teresa, it is so exciting to have you here today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Scott. I'm thrilled to be here because this is one of my favorite topics and you are so enthusiastic. And you've just, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg's College Kids Fund is way too big.
Exactly. And I know I've contributed way too much to that. So
I'm on a personal mission to keep the fun down.
To keep the fun down, that's exactly what we want to do. So, well, I've heard you speak a lot in our Titans Mastermind, just sharing your expertise with, all of the members that are in that group, and just even in the casual conversations, just some of the takeaways that I had. And I was like, okay, I've got to have Dr. Teresa on my podcast because it seems like everybody that I talk to is doing social media ads. And I know that I have no clue what I should be doing when it comes to Facebook ads and such. And so I wanted to get an expert who could maybe give me some pointers because I'm getting ready to do some Facebook ads myself. But would love to kind of turn it over to you and maybe kind of give us a little bit of background. Like, how did you get into Facebook ads with everything else that you had done?
Oh, well, that's a fun story, Scott. Oh my gosh, I spent 24 years in healthcare. Matter of fact, when I graduated Ohio State University, go Buckeyes, I thought to myself, if I did this for 20 years, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
When you're that young, you don't think much further than that.
Right.
At least I didn't, right? And after 24 years, I'm up at 5 a.m. every day. I'm in the office by 6. I've got work done by 8. And then I'm going and exercising as the team's walking in. And then I come back at like 9:30, 10 o'clock to start my day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would go into the office early just so I had some thinking time, right?
Yeah.
And then 12 hours later, 5, 6 o'clock at night, everybody's gone home. I'm wrapping up my day. 5 a.m. the next day starts again. There's got to be a better way to do life. One day, one of my therapists, I had an outpatient therapy company, she says to me, I need to resign because my husband wants to move to Thailand. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. My wheels have been rolling ever since. That was like 2007 or 8. Well, in 2014, I found the magic formula. If I did internet marketing, I could work from anywhere.
Yep.
I started making videos for people, and then I started learning how to build websites because they didn't know how to put the video on the website.
Yep.
I would do that for them. I ended up learning SEO for the websites and how to do that. And one of the gals I was working with on the SEO, she said, well, how come we don't use Facebook ads? And I'm like, well, what's that? She showed me. I thought this was miraculous.
Yeah.
Because this SEO thing takes forever to get results.
Right.
Same thing day in, day out. This Facebook ad thing, oh, that's pretty cool. You give this Facebook thing some money and it shows you some leads. It shows you traffic to the website. I'm like, oh, this is fascinating. So it's been 5 years now that I've been into Facebook ads, thousands of dollars in courses, tens of thousands of hours of staring at the computer. And I still love it. They're always changing the interface. I'll put a training and I'm learning to tell people, that training might not look exactly like what you see on your screen because Facebook changes things all the time.
Yep. Tech companies love to do that.
They do. What is that? Yeah. Yeah. But basically, okay, if you imagine your personal page on Facebook is like a plot of land, it's like a big plot of land of dirt. And then on that dirt, you want to build a house. So you have to pour a foundation. Now imagine your business page is now your foundation. Your personal page, got to have a foundation, your business page. And then from there, on your business page, you can build your ad account, your business manager. And that's where all the fun happens. I've talked to so many people that, I boost a post. Well, you know what? Yeah, you could pick out the age range of your audience and the demographics and some detailed targeting. You can't do much more with boosting a post. And yes, that could be part of your ad strategy.
Sure.
But you want a whole umbrella for an ad strategy. And that's why the business manager is so important, because your business manager is going to sit on that foundation. And just like your house has many rooms, the business manager has many rooms. The kitchen, I love to call the ad account the kitchen, because that's where the ads get cooked up. That's where those recipes get put together for the best ads. And then you also have a guy out on the front porch. I call him the sentinel. And that's your pixel or data set, like Facebook calls it now. And that sentinel tracks who comes to the house, who comes to the website, who goes to the Facebook page. Just like if you had somebody that, like, let's say you had a teenager and they're having a party in the house, somebody's going to be watching what those kids are kind of coming in and where are they going and what are they doing. The pixel is going to be looking at, this guy spent 15 minutes and 29 seconds on your page. Let's make sure they get more information. So he goes into this category over here. And this is where your audience building starts. And a lot of people don't do this. That's where your retargeting becomes so valuable. Your pixel kicks it off, puts people into these different rooms around the house. If you've got a lot of people gathered in that front foyer and they're just kind of spinning around and looking at things and then leaving, that's people just coming, the tire kickers coming to your website, looking around and leaving, and you don't keep track of them. That's where you spend money and donate to Zuckerberg's college fund.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of basic rules of marketing apply. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And, it's interesting that, that you've really honed in that you really need a strategy when you're going into Facebook ads. A lot of times I think, it's kind of like, this is the cool thing to do now. I need to be doing, social media ads, Facebook ads. And like, let's just go, what are the words that we want? What's the image that we want? And boom, we just throw it up there. But it's a whole lot more than that. It sounds like you really need to have a plan. How do you want them to navigate through your house, basically?
Right. And Scott, your listeners, I know for them that when they're putting together their strategy, they want to think first of what they want the outcome to be. It's like when you go to start your ads, like, what do you want your outcome to be? Do you want them to download your free report? Do you want them to buy something? Do you want them to join a community that you're in? And so when you create that strategy, the outcome details what your strategy should be.
Right.
Now, the foundation for all strategies is awareness. And awareness is an ad objective that includes videos. You can run a video view ad for $1 a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And what I love about this is Facebook will track how long people watch that video.
Okay.
So let's say people watch at least 25% of a 2-minute video. They watch 30 seconds of it, right?
Yep.
If they watch at least 30 seconds, you want to retarget them. If they've watched 3 seconds, they're not interested.
Yep.
Yeah. Let them come in the foyer, spin around and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there a way, like if Facebook knows that they've watched 25% of that video, can you automatically add them into your retargeting audience, or do you have to manually do that?
No, everything's set up on automations.
Okay.
Yes. Facebook's taken the whole automation thing to a blue moon level. And your users will find, and you'll find yourself when you go to make your ads, it's going to send you a plethora of messages. Try it like this. We recommend that. Well, a lot of these messages are designed for Facebook to maximize their return.
Hmm. Right. I mean, they are in business to make money, so.
Yeah, yeah. So it kind of makes sense that they would make these suggestions, but it's not
Hmm.
always in your own best interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still love putting together my own audiences.
Hmm.
There's a place for something called Advantage Plus audiences. Now, I'll run 2 ad sets, and this is part of the strategy. And one ad set has my original audience, and the other ad set will have an Advantage Plus audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
So I
Advantage Plus audience, what exactly is that? Is that one that's just kind of curated by Facebook based upon like these are kind of like the demographics of what you're putting in? Is that kind of how it calculates that?
it calculates it based on people's behaviors.
Okay.
So, for example, on your Facebook feed in that top right-hand corner, there's 3 little dots of any ad that you see. And if you
Hmm.
click on those 3 horizontal dots, you get a sub menu that pops up. And one of the options is, why are you seeing this ad?
Hmm.
Now, don't do it unless you've got at least half an hour to burn. It's a
Okay.
rabbit hole.
Like most things on social media.
Right, right. And this will go into every single thing you've targeted or clicked on,
Hmm.
looked at, video you've watched. It goes deep.
Wow.
And that's why they're showing you that ad. So the Advantage Plus mechanism that Facebook has is their automation or their AI to find the right audience for you. As opposed to me saying, no, I know, like, let's say I'm selling fishing tackle.
Hmm.
I know I want, men between 45 and 60, I'm throwing this out there, that live near lakes or they have, go to Field and Stream, they go to Cabela's, they go to Bass Pro Shops.
Hmm.
Yeah, they might go to REI, Outdoor World sort of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, if I use that kind of detailed targeting and I'll run it against the Advantage Plus, it it's a little more expensive, but it works.
Gets better results.
It gets better results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, can you also, like, if you've got a list of your own contacts that are maybe in your CRM and you've got their email addresses and that type of thing, can you upload them into Facebook and then it can identify like that audience from that as well?
Yes. Yes. One of the indicators Facebook uses to track people is emails.
Okay.
So some people will tell you, why would I upload my email list? They already know their emails. Well, people use a lot of different emails for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Facebook has the email that they log in with.
Hmm.
They might use a different email to make purchases with.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody uses the same email all the time. And
Yeah.
that's when your purchase list of people becomes very important. And you can upload that into Facebook. Facebook encodes it. Nobody
Hmm.
ever actually sees it.
Hmm.
And then from there, Facebook will find people similar to your buyers. It does
Yep.
become a rapid fire way to get buyers.
Hmm.
It, yes. Like if you're looking for more leads, or if you're looking for more buyers for your course or your membership, definitely go with an email list. It's the fastest way to get them in there.
Okay. So
Yeah.
building up that list is really important in your own system so that you can then use that on social media platforms, get more people that are just like them. Or like I've mentioned
Absolutely.
many times when I've consulted with people in their emails, because one of the biggest questions is like, okay, people haven't engaged with an email for, 6 months or a year. Do I just delete those people? Like, what do I do with them? And one of my recommendations is export them out, put them as an audience that you can retarget them, or you could create a lookalike audience again if they're buyers into social media. So it sounds like that's a really good and effective strategy for people to use.
That's an excellent strategy, Scott. I love it. I love it.
Awesome.
Because what 90 up to 90 days is really good. And you're right, after 90 days, they are kind of like
Mm-hmm.
on the fence, but you could still retarget them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is where the strategy comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
Use them to retarget for awareness.
Yeah.
Just staying in front of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It,
then if it's people that have bought in the past 90 days, retarget them to buy again.
yeah. because now you're showing up in multiple places and people are going to be like, wow, I've seen you everywhere.
Right.
And now all of a sudden it kind of, reactivates in their mind. It's like, oh yeah, I do remember, that company, that person that I interacted with. Now, another question I'd like to, kind of explore is, with Facebook, it seems like a lot of the social media platforms really encourage you to keep people on their platform. So it used to be like, everybody was posting links in their original post. So like if I wanted you to go to my landing page or to go watch a video over on YouTube or something like that, like I could create my post and have the link in it, and then people could click it and go somewhere else. Well, then over the past several months, I noticed a lot of people have been saying, go see the first comment. And then they put the link in the comment as opposed to in the post itself. But like when you're creating Facebook ads and stuff, they have, the lead ad forms that basically, you keep people on Facebook. They fill out the form on Facebook instead of taking them to your own landing page where they fill out a form. What's your experience? What actually works best for businesses?
That's a great question. The lead form that Facebook came up with a couple of years ago, Scott, I would have told you and your listeners, forget about it. The thing doesn't work because the leads that did come in were really, really expensive. Even taking them off of Facebook, you had a cheaper lead. Now Facebook's really super improved it 1,000%. And it's a great way to go. Now, if you're looking for leads, I highly suggest, this is an insider secret,
That's what we
use
want.
both. Use regular lead ads that take people off of Facebook to your website, and use lead forms. 2 separate campaigns.
Okay.
2 separate campaigns. Don't put it in the same one. And this way you get a true cost comparison. And if you can tag them as they come into your system, because when they come through the lead form system on Facebook, you have to set up a connection between the Facebook lead form and your email service provider or your CRM.
Yep.
When they come through that channel, tag them differently than how they tagged over here on your page.
Okay.
And that way you can track long-term the lifetime value of leads. And that's the long-term game.
Yeah.
It's great to have leads. Who's buying from you? What do they spend over the course of a lifetime? And how long are they with you?
Yeah.
As you know. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, you said the lifetime value is what you're calculating there. So you're not focusing as much on what it costs to get a lead, the acquisition amount. So it might be 50 cents coming through a Facebook lead ad form, and it might be 47 cents coming through your particular website form. That 50 cents, 47 cents really doesn't make any difference at all. You're looking at the lifetime value. So if you're spending 50 cents to get a lead and the lifetime value on that client is $3,000 versus you're spending 47 cents and that lifetime value is only 2,000, it makes more sense to spend the 50 cents to make an extra 1,000, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, Scott. It's the big picture. It's that strategy. It's the vision of
Yeah.
knowing where are you going? Why is this person with you as a lead? Yes.
Yeah. So it really goes back to, what Dan Kennedy has always taught, the person who can spend the most to get a lead wins, right? So it's that lifetime value. And I love that you plugged that. So what are some of the other things that you're seeing when you're working with your clients, some of the common mistakes that they're making, or just the things that they aren't aware of, because social media advertising can be kind of complicated?
Yes, it can be complicated. Oh my gosh. What I see a lot of people doing is opening up their Facebook ad account, and oh, I want sales. And they see that sales objective. I'm like, well, if I want sales, that's what I'm going to do. It's your most expensive objective. And if people don't even know you exist, they're not going to buy from you anyway.
Yep.
So if you layer in your awareness ads with the sales, problem solved. You've got to work on the budgeting distribution with this too. Okay. So awareness, your cold traffic, think of spending at least 60% of your budget on your cold traffic.
Okay.
20% people that know you, have been to your website, all those people that you're retargeting, people that have watched 25% of that video, 10% of your budget should be spent on that bottom of funnel.
Okay.
You can have a sales objective in that warm audience in the middle of funnel. And you can have the sales objective at the bottom of funnel.
Okay.
One of the things, I worked in an agency, and one of the things the owner was adamant about was have at least a $5 a day bottom of funnel ad running.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense, you know, because it's like, well, you should be retargeting people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I highly recommend that. That's an insider secret. Now, keeping that awareness going with the sales, that's the first way to tackle that whole idea of simply getting the sales started.
Gotcha.
And warming up your ad account.
Okay.
If it is a brand new ad account, this, well, towards the end of the year, into January, fantastic time to get leads. See people try to build their email lists when it's really expensive. Is e-commerce going into play like in the fall? But oh my God, December 15th, those ad costs drop like a rock.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, boom. Because there's not enough time to get a product to somebody for Christmas.
That's true. And Black Friday, Cyber Monday's already passed. So now it's just kind of like, okay, what do we do in this time frame?
Right.
Yeah.
Now this works for every industry except weight loss.
Yeah, because everybody's trying to get that for the New Year's resolutions, right?
It's their New Year's. Yeah, that whole industry gets bombarded, and their ad costs do go up in January. But from like December 15th on, think about planning out that lead magnet strategy. You want at least 250 people on your email list before you even give it to Facebook to use.
Okay.
So build that list up first. And from December 15th to about the middle of February is a beautiful time to do that. Ad costs will start to increase towards February because of Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the other mistake I see people making is when they're looking at their ads, they're like, oh, look at all the clicks I got. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at all the engagement. Oh, well, you want to look at the cost of your audience. Facebook will tell you if your audience costs $2, $10, $99 or more.
Okay.
That's a client years ago. She did fantastic. We ran event promotions for her every 3 months. And she changed from October to November, not knowing her main competitor changed his event to November also.
Oh, wow.
Her cost for her audience went from about $8 or $9, $79, $84.
Wow.
We were seeing $102.
Oh my goodness.
So unless she spent, a couple $100 a day just on one ad, she was going nowhere fast. Yeah, because you want to have that layering system going on.
Yeah.
If she was used to spending like $6,000, we would have blown through $6,000 in 3 days.
Yeah.
Just to keep up with the pace of the cost of her audience. And we did have to shut everything down, and she had to cancel her event. Very sad story.
Yeah.
Lesson. Now, the cost of your audience, where to look for that is on your ads manager. It's called the CPM.
Okay.
Cost per 1,000 people. What? M, I think, is like a Roman numeral for 1,000.
Yep.
I'm Italian, but I don't know my Roman numerals. Go figure.
So you want to look at, at that, and then that, and kind of use that in your strategic planning, when you're going to be running your promotions, and, because it'll tell you, it's like, this is going to be way too expensive, for you to run. Now, as we're talking about, cost, so you mentioned the layering. So you've got your awareness campaign, you've got your warm, and then you've got your sales, objectives. So you've got those 3 different types of objectives. What do you recommend as kind of like a bare minimum per day to allocate to the different ads that you're running?
Well, the bare minimum, I could only speak to one type of ad. And I say that because, well, actually 2. The bottom of funnel sales ads should be $5 a day. You can scooch it down to 3 or 4, but it's probably not going to be effective. Your video view ads could go down to a minimum of $1 a day.
Okay.
Everything else is dependent on what you're willing to spend, what your cost of acquisition cap is. Like
Mm-hmm.
we knew for this client, her acquisition cost was $30 per person.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew we had to get a certain number of leads in to get a certain number of people into her event
Right.
at $30 a person. Yeah. And
Okay.
that, if she wanted 30 people in, like if she wanted 100 people and it
Mm-hmm.
was $30 per person, we were looking at spending 30 times. Oh, I'm terrible at math. My goodness, and marketing is math.
That'd be the 3,000 just to get
Yeah.
the 100 leads or the 100
Yeah.
people at the event.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of, not only do you have to do the strategic planning, but you also need to do your budgeting as well so that you can allocate the appropriate resources to that.
Yes. Yes. Calculators on phones are a real godsend for marketing.
Right? Yeah. So,
Marketing is math.
so when it comes to advertising, you've mentioned video ads. You can run those for as low as $1 a day.
Yeah.
Are those the best type of ads to run right now, or are there other types of ads that might be just as effective or more effective?
You know, what I like to think of is in terms of the season of the market. Like we mentioned, the weight loss goes nuts in January, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So video view ads are beautiful because they work just about any time.
Mm-hmm.
And what you want to do is look at, okay, what is the purpose of what I want to accomplish? Like, let's say you just got a website set up and you're not sure if people are aware of you or not. So a combination of a video view ad and a traffic ad
Hmm.
is what you're looking for. But don't keep running that traffic ad if you want sales.
Mm-hmm.
Traffic ad are the tire kickers. They're the window shoppers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to
So,
get more people to go check out your offer with that traffic ad. They may or may
right.
not be inclined to buy, but you're just getting eyeballs on whatever you're offering.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know, it's kind of like having a storefront and you're waiting for people to come in the door and they keep walking by and looking in the window, but nobody's stopping to buy. That's a
Mm-hmm.
traffic.
Yep. Gotcha.
So yeah, if you want to get your website, get some speed to it,
Mm-hmm.
traffic, don't rely on it for sales. Big mistake people make. Big mistake. I see that.
So all these
I see
different
that one.
objectives of, what is it that you want to have happen, and then you're going to
Yeah.
choose the right ad type. Now,
And a
a lot of
combination of it.
yeah. Now, a lot of times, people have a hard time figuring out like what type of ad should I create or what type of ad is going to be effective. Is there a way that we can do kind of some reconnaissance on our competitors, and what's a good way to kind of like use that information, assuming it's available, to help us create our own ads?
I never thought you'd ask, Scott.
Well, I mean, who wants to, create everything from scratch and just hope and pray that it works?
Oh, no, nobody. No, people do it. People
Yeah.
do it. That would be the other big mistake I think people make is they're not realizing what the buyer wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's one of the things I love talking about. And I have this beautiful profitable ads playbook. And that's what the whole thing is about, the message testing. Like
Mm.
what is your buyer thinking? What touches their heartstrings that makes them want to buy? Because people buy on emotion. They don't buy on common sense.
Yep.
Unless they have to have something.
Yeah.
They buy on emotion. So if we want to know that what triggers them, what are they thinking? And so that message is important. The copy, the graphic, and the video need to match that.
Mm.
Yes. Now AI is out there. You can grab one of your competitors' websites. You can get a transcript PDF, get a PDF of that website,
Mm-hmm.
convert the PDF to a text, give that text document to AI, and ask them, who's the audience? What's the sentiments?
Hmm.
Yeah, what are the benefits of the product? What are the features of the product? And look at the benefits, look at the emotions that are being used on that website.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you weave that into your ads and into your message in order to communicate clearly and effectively and create that bond with your audience. Because there's a person on that other side of the computer and
Yeah.
they have emotions and they want to take care of their family and they have dreams and they want so badly to have the right relationships in their life. They want to have more money in their bank account. They want to have a fancier lifestyle. They want status.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to be the one on the block with the best kitchen knife set, you talk to them about how that kitchen knife set's going to give them that status. Everyone's going to want to come to their house.
With all of those parties that they're going to be hosting, they can show off that knife set, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to know what's in their heart, what matters to them. And when you have that down pat, that's what creates a really good ad. No matter what your strategy is, if your message is off, nothing's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this, this really goes back to, with all of the different, people that I've had on the podcast so far, many of the conversations kind of lead right back to this. You've got to know your audience. You've got to have a strategy. You've got to, have the messaging right.
Yes.
No matter what type of marketing it is that you're doing. So like in this case, we're talking about social media ads. You have to have that foundation, like you talked about earlier, even just within Facebook. You still have to have that foundation for your business in order for you to not fund Mark Zuckerberg's kids' college fund, right? So, well, I know that we're. Yeah, go ahead.
I call it like the 20% of the work that gives you 80% of your results.
Yeah. So going to your competitors' websites, saving that, and then feeding that into AI. And of course, I know that you love AI, and we could probably go another hour kind of talking about that. But feeding that into AI and saying, hey, give me the important stuff out of this that's going to help me identify, who is my customer, why would they buy, what are their pain points, that type of thing. And you can use that as a quick way to get some intelligence of now how you can position your offer on that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that positioning of the offer and the messaging is key. Mm-hmm. That is the secret ingredient.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Truly, that creates 80% of the results from 20% of your efforts.
Yeah.
The 80-20 rule. Yeah, there it is. It shows up everywhere, right?
It does. Well, I know we're getting close to the top of our time here, but are there any final words of wisdom or secrets that you'd like to share with us about Facebook ads that we haven't talked about?
Well, sure. What I'd like to share is the Facebook's always changing. Be rest assured of that. Have a second ad account ready to go.
We didn't even touch on that, getting ad accounts banned.
Yes. And it does happen.
Yeah.
So Facebook will let you have an ad account on your through your personal page, and you can run a couple of video view ads on that.
Okay.
But set things up through that business manager.
Mm-hmm.
And look at how many ad accounts will it let you set up. I have a couple of business managers that have 13 ad accounts on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Spread out your risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know so many people, I've seen so many conversations and talked to different people that, for whatever reason, sometimes it doesn't make any sense that their Facebook ad account got shut down, and they didn't know that they broke any rules. And of course, if you're in the middle of a launch, that creates a problem. So I like, that idea of, having that backup. Again, goes back to 1 is the worst number of anything in business. And so you want to make sure that you've got that second ad account set up.
Right. And Scott, if you or any of your listeners would like to have a one-on-one with me, I'm open to that. And I'll make sure you have the link for that to have I call it a business clarity call to look at, hey, what's working? What could work better?
Awesome.
What could be done differently? So I'm happy to do that for you and your listeners.
Fantastic. Oh, I appreciate that. Well, Teresa, it was great to have you on today and just kind of like talk about, Facebook ads and some of the things that we need to be aware of, some of the mistakes that I know that I've made, and even though I know marketing, I probably haven't given as much thought to the strategy pieces of what I should before I just started diving in. It's like, oh, let me go create and run these ads. So kind of give me some good stuff to think about here. So
you're definitely not alone. You're not the first person who went down that road.
Yep, and I probably won't be the last, I'm sure. And
I'm thinking I hope people listen to the podcast first, and then they're not adding to that.
That's right. The people who are listening to this, that we're going to be in that unique set of people that actually are doing things right in the right process in the right order. So
yeah,
great.
Absolutely.
Well, everybody, that's all. That's all for today's episode of From the Trenches. Before we wrap up, Dr. Teresa does have a free report that you can download called 3 Common Mistakes Made by Marketers with Paid Ads. And then, as she just mentioned, she's got a complimentary 45-minute business clarity call that if you're interested in that, you can set up a time to speak with her. We'll put the links in the show notes. That way you'll have access to those and don't have to try to remember them from this audio message. And if you're looking to supercharge your email marketing, check out my book, Hit the Inbox, at hittheinboxbook.com. It's packed with 76 pages of strategies to get your emails landing in inboxes and driving sales. Thanks for tuning in today. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. It helps us reach more entrepreneurs like you. Until next time, keep crushing it in the trenches.
Yeah, go make money.